Yeah, mate.
Hey, was Bud. Good evening. How you doing?
Good evening, dude. How you been?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, good. So, if you hadn't already noticed, Gaz from Gaz's Koi Pond, who is a friend of Perfect Aquatics, has joined us for tonight. I'd like to welcome everybody to the third auction. It is the third one, believe it or not. I've done a couple back in May when I first took over the koi department, but as things have gone from strength to strength here, obviously we've got to a point now where I've got other things ship and shape, and now we'll be running these very regularly. So
It is.
I've also got Harry in the back, who is our digital manager, marketing manager, who's been working hard today to get a little new concept put together for us. So we're not following everybody else. We've done our own little thing. I like to change things up a little bit. But if you want to bring up comments, do you want me to bring up comments, Harry? Yeah. So Dave Bramwell's in. I've never done this before, guys. So if it all goes a bit Pete Tom, point and laugh like. So evening, Dave. Twist is in as well. I'm not going to go for every single one of them. Evening, Vince. And at the moment, we've got over 30 people in, which I'm quite chuffed about because I set myself a target, believe it or not, just 30 people, because it's the first one that we've had for some time.
That's a good deal.
And so until people start chewing the fat and mentioning that this becomes more of a regular event, then I expect to see that number climb. But what I will do, guys, at the start of every video, as we go through the live, if you like what you see, please give us a like on the video.
Smash that thumbs up.
And those of you with channels, if you can give us a share, that would be much appreciated. So, how you been, Gaz? Anyway, been up to much?
Well, this morning we took his grandson home, and then I've been to try on my new threads for my daughter's wedding this next Friday coming. So me and my sons, we're all looking pretty dapper about 11:30. I got all them tried on.
Have you got your logo on your suit?
I should have, shouldn't I? I should have just had it stuck on. Just
get a little metal badge made, mate.
Yeah. I should have had it on the what do they call that little pocket handkerchief thinger? Should have had it stuck on.
Oh, that's not bad. Just say droops over.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Other than that, just chilling and relaxing, mate, today.
Good man. Well, I've been grafting my arse off, to be honest. But those people that bought the fish on Thursday through Gaz's channel, thank you very much. That's all been dealt with and sorted out. I've spoke to both of you, so I really appreciate that. We've got 12 fish to go on today, including 11 koi and 1 Tamasaba. As people probably already know, I have posted stuff out. If you're not already part of Perfect Aquatics Facebook group, please go on to Perfect Aquatics and follow us on there. That's where you will see a lot of, that always happens, Harry. Your connection's gone again, Gaz. If you're not past it, you'll see a lot more content on Facebook through Perfect Aquatics than
set up the Wi-Fi on it.
Anywhere else. First fish that we've got, you'll see, Harry, if we just put video up, please. Okay, so we've got a shusui, and what you will see here is that, just to explain the concept, the video will play out. Once it stops, it will automatically kick into the video playing in the background again. And across the bottom, you will see what the variety is, the breeder, the size, and the age, including the starting bid and also the reference number. If you bring this up to the screen, Ari, please.
I've got to admit, I'm not a big fan of this shusui, but that to me, that's just the right amount of orange.
Yeah.
I know it's probably going to develop and a bit more come out, but I do think that for a shusui, it's a nice the light sky blue looks nice on it. Good body, good shape, nice zip on it, and not too much orange on it. That's perfect for me.
That's beautiful. So starting bids on this is £50, guys. Soon as they pop up on here, I will put them on screen. So I'll tell you what we probably need to do, mate. It's because we're on Facebook. We need to have Facebook up and running. So any comments, that's an oversight. So we are also streaming to Facebook on Perfect Aquatics' page, up to 60 people now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us, guys.
So just to remind everyone, you only pay the bid that you make, and there will be a £25 delivery fee unless you choose to come to store to collect it. If you choose to come to the store, I will throw in a free lunch. So rather than having a delivery fee, you'll get fed for coming down to the store as well. So £50. First one being a shusui from Ikarashi. So, like Gaz said, shusui are a bit of a marmite fish, as people know. I've got a fair few of these. However, blue ones tend to sell extremely well. So, what I've done is I selected out a couple of the ones that have got a lot more blue colour, on a basis that I'd rather put them on here and put them out to everybody that I know is going to look after them, and not just buy it for the sake of buying a koi, if you understand what I mean. Now, with regard to this fish, you'll see that it's not a traditional sort of shusui where you've got a hell of a lot of orange running down both flanks, but you have got more of a blue pigment. And the reason why I brought this out is the blue pigment is very deep in the skin, which does come around down to the area of it potentially will stay blue throughout its life, because the blue pigment will stay. So I've seen one in the shop when I first joined that was around 50 cm, and the blue in that stayed, and it was called what we called a true blue. So these will get big. Remember, we buy all our stock from Koi Wholesale. He has been growing the batch of these on from his own selection, and they have been getting extremely big. Now, bearing in mind, my job is down in the shop is not to grow fish, it is to sell them. Right, we're not pumping loads and loads of food into the ponds to get a growing season out of them like Rick does. We are stocking, so when they get to your pond, you guys can throw as much sake at it as you want. So I'm looking for 50 quid though, guys, and that's so 50 quid, £25 delivery fee as well, or free lunch if you choose to pick it up from the store.
That should be an easy starter at 50 quid there, guys. Come on, man. I mean, that's a banging little fish, that.
It's only a small fish at 20 cm, but it is a tozai, Gaz. So,
yeah,
you know, and I promise you're not going to get a shusui of this quality from Ikarashi for £50 anywhere. Okay, they are Japanese guys as well. You can see on there that the zipper runs all the way from the top of their head all the way through the tail down into the odome. I ain't bothered if I don't sell. I'll put it back in. Someone will take it from the shop. So if I don't see £50 within the next 1 minute, I'll move on to the next thing.
Everybody want to make the opening bid for 50 quid?
Anything on Facebook, mate? Have we got anyone watching on Facebook? Yeah, good. So, hello to everyone again. Forgot to mention you guys out on Facebook, although I have seen Paul Dale pop up, so it looks like I'm getting both from in there as well, mate. Steve Lane's also in. Thank you for joining us, Steve. We'll just go through a couple of people. Chris Taylor's in. Well done, Chris. Thanks for speaking to us this week. Chris was walking around with a swag bag this week. He stole secret Sankey off me for next to nothing. So lucky.
It certainly did. It certainly did. What a nice fish that as well.
I was fair play, mate. If it was me, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank, to be honest, mate. So
as that fish progresses and grows, it's going to make a stunning fish. That.
Well, it is, mate. I mean, you've got to look at the body shape on this fish as well. It's got the attributes. It's got a nice broad head. Okay, it's got a lovely big round mouth. The backbones are really strong, wide and high, and the profile of the fish is also extremely good as well. So you know,
nice, good wide head, isn't it? Good shape to it. Good body.
Yeah, I mean, people may be put off by the pinkish head and the red marks in the gills. Guys, it's a tiny fish.
That's right? That's its age and that's the type, isn't it? As a young fish, they do tend to look transparent, but as they grow older, that will fill in and it will become a lot more white rather than translucent. Yeah,
totally true, guys. So please don't be put off by that, because that's expected of a fish that's pale at a tozai level. So, but okay, we'll put that down as nobody wants it, and we'll move on to the next fish, Harry, please, mate. Good start, guys. Thanks for your support. Okay, next one then I'm expecting we will get quite a lot of love for, because every pond needs one. So we are looking at a Utsuri.
Utsuri.
Okay, and this is from Hirasawa. Again, this is a tozai, small fish. I have got an array of fish of different sizes and ages today, but a tozai. Picked this one out because although it's been in the shop for the last couple of months, getting it outside will do it a great amount of justice, to be honest, guys. But I haven't got the pond space outside for the smaller fish. I'd rather keep them in warmer water, which is around 19 degrees at the minute. But for a small fish, you can't go wrong with a Hirasawa. You can see exactly what you're getting because the pattern will develop with the size.
And not for 30 quid. Come on, let's face it. 30 quid with your postage and package on it. You're not picking up one.
No, that's not, that wouldn't even cover what we ask in store, mate, you know, with the postage and package on top. But with regards to the fish itself, for a small tozai, it's got an extremely lovely profile to it. You've got a good body. You've got a decent shape head for this type of fish. You're not going to carry the power that you'd find on a sakai fish, because it just don't tend to have that sort of bloodline in it. Okay, so you're not going to get massive old chunky shoulders where you get the rugby sort of rump off the back of the head. You're going to get a nice sort of traditional style fish, especially coming from Hirasawa. So Hirasawa, as we all know, is an extremely top-end breeder in Japan. Really known for his chigoi. You know, for that in itself. This fish on its own commands £30. So just seen a comment pop up.
Yeah, we're just going to say that too. There you go.
Mental koi pond. So the rules for bidding, guys, is that when you put your bid in, the first bid that I see will take the precedence over two people making the same bid until it is then subsided. I'm happy to take on £30 fish bids of £2. The winning bidder, all I ask you to do is contact the shop tomorrow on a phone number, or contact me via Facebook or the website www.perfectaquatics.com. Basically, we'll take the payment over the phone and arrange delivery. Or if you choose to come to store, I'll even throw in a free lunch for your efforts of coming down. So £30 for
30 quid from Steve Lane there, straight in.
Okay, that's perfect. Cheers, mate. I missed that. So if anyone else got any questions, Steve's seen these as well. So thanks very much, Steve. If anyone else has got any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. So if you look at the actual profile of the fish, as you can imagine, as this fish gets larger and it starts to fill out, and I'll use Chris Wall's terminologies, as that goes wider, you'll see that the black across the top of the head is really going to expand. And for those people,
32.
32. Thank you very much, Shane. Increments of £2, guys. As that fish, the sumi will come. Okay. A lot of people tend to look for too much. Craig, no, that's not me. A lot of people tend to look for too much clean cut Hiyatsuris. They come with a black speckly. To be able to get one that is clean on all of the orange or the he, you know, you're going to pay massive money. And and if you find one at a tozai like that, give me a bell, because I'll be interested to see what it sells for. But it's not going to be 30 quid, guys. So, but from a very good breeder, we've got the sumi in this. It will tighten up as it gets older. It will develop more. The skin will get stronger. And for a tozai of a Japanese quality, you ain't going to beat that. So 32 quid. What do you reckon, Gus, to this?
I think it's a nice looking fish, mate. For me, what stands out on it more, I like them to have that little bit of something different. Each peck's got that nice little picked out lining all the way around it. You can see it on the rear fins, you can see it on the tail, and I've just been trying to watch to see if it puts its dorsal up a little bit, and I do believe that that's got a little bit of a pick out
Yes.
around it. So I mean, it stands out, doesn't it? It's something a little bit different. The orange offsetting with a black pectoral fins, which is just what I've picked in my own, that I've just quite recently got, or otherwise I might have been making a bid myself. It's literally very similar to what I've just picked up, and exactly the same size, 34 quid from Stephen Lane. I think that's, well, my question to you, Anthony, do you think that that little bit there on the head might meet up and marry across to that section just there on the right hand side of the body? It looks as if it may do.
Yeah.
It might join
Yeah,
through.
the bit comes up the like off,
Yeah.
just off the centre spine. Yeah, that will all develop, definitely. It's a young fish, Gaz, so
Yeah.
not seeing.
36 from Hazel Jackson.
Hazel, hello, darling. Oh, sorry, mate. I've just turned it off. Harry put it on, I turned it off. Hi, Hazel. Hazel's a good customer of mine. So she would have seen these as well. So, and lucky Shane, you're just a little bit behind on Facebook, mate. Yeah, young fish, mate. When I say what you see is what you get, what I'm saying on a Hirasawa is there's not a huge amount of development that you would expect, like you would see in a shiro Utsuri or a showa or a sanki. You know, the assume is there, and it's going to keep developing. You know, you've got to remember that the colour in fish is layered. Okay, and at the minute we're not seeing a finished article because it's far too young. So here he is, my granddad. Granddad, Alan in the shop tonight. Alan, thank you very much for joining us. As you know, Alan is a very good friend of mine.
38 from Shane. There we go.
Okay,
We're going up.
That's lovely.
One question did come up, Crafty. Does it include VAT or is it VAT on top?
Okay, so every bid is what the only additional fee that you'll pay is postage. Unless if you come to the shop, I'll give you a free lunch for your troubles.
And I can recommend the lunch. It's very good.
Yeah, we've got a very lovely koi cafe down here. No pun intended there. And that's what it's called. So
Jackson in at 40.
Again, would I expect this fish to get big? Yeah, I would expect this fish to reach circa 60, 70 cm by year 4 in the right environment.
Right environments, right conditions, good food, and it'll grow. Yeah,
it's got to, mate. You know, in honesty, you throw food into your pond, your fish is going to grow anyway. You know.
Remembering, guys, that this is an 18 cm fish, and already as an 18 cm fish, it's got a very good body shape to it.
Yeah, all the fish that I've picked out tonight will have guts. So
yeah,
you know, I'm not going to put anything that I want to get rid of because
it's not underweight.
Yeah. So last couple of minutes then. At the minute it's inward jack at £40. I'm going to say go in once on this fish. So if you're trying to hold out, then
yes, you can pay and pick up from the shop.
Yeah, you. So Nigel, if you want it, mate, put a bid in. I'll keep it for you, and you can pay when you arrive. I haven't got a problem with that. So yeah, it's going once. So £2 increments, guys, is all I'm asking for. You got to have one of these in your pond, guys.
You have, mate. I have been waiting for a while, for a good while. I've wanted one for a good 18 months.
Yep. Going twice.
Certainly beats my. Oh, there we are. Shane Lewis in at 42.
Well done, Shane, mate. Nice
Back
fish.
at you, Jack, if you're still interested, mate.
You're not going to be disappointed. Anyone that gets this fish is not going to be disappointed. Yes, it is a tozai, but it's 42 quid. You know, you ain't going to get that from anywhere. Not here at Sori. They're hard to come by at tozai. I promise you. It don't matter where you get them from. Very hard to come across.
44 from Jack.
The thing I like about this fish is if you look at the tail fin, and it's only 18 cm, when that fish puts on more body, more length, and that, remember your fins grow with the fish, guys, especially if you've got a winder. Yeah. The side profile of the fish is absolutely excellent. You can see, if you can see the way that it streaks, you've got red, black all the way through. You know, that is, when that gets into what I call a whale tail, which is a big thing, it's going to look extraordinary.
But it's got the good offset, hasn't it? If you look at the peck at the left-hand side, with the black peck, and then at the right hand side having the orange, but there's black coming up at the side of the orange, whereas the gill plate cover on that one on the opposite side is orange but black peck. It kind of balances it out, and Jack's just stepped in with 50. I think he's got a nice setting pattern that.
If you have a look on the underside of the fin as well, they're opposite colours. You know, so anyone that's got a window, you're going to see more of the fish. You know, so you know any takers on 52. If you want it for 52, put it in now because I'm about to call.
Let me know if you can hear that, Raincrafty. If you can, I'll mute my mic till I'm talking.
I can't hear it. Okay then, so going once, going twice, going 3 times, and that's sold.
Shane Lewis, 52, just on the 3 times.
I'll give it to 50. A bit of a lag. I'll give it to Shane. Sorry, Jack. I love
there is
Jack.
that lag, isn't there, from the Facebook to the YouTube by a second or two.
I'll hurry. So as the adjudicator, did it come in time or not? Okay. So Shane picked at the post there, Jack. Unfortunately, mate. Well, I can hear it now, mate. It's piping down. It's not an issue though. It's not an issue. I quite like it. So Shane Lewis, £52. Tomorrow, mate, if you give us a call or get hold of us on Facebook, I can see that you've joined us through Facebook, so you're probably local to us anyway. That fish will be yours. So give us a call to make payment or pop in, mate, and we'll talk tomorrow. So well done, guys. I quite enjoyed that. It turned into a nice little battle that did. We're going to move tonight.
Sniped by Shane Lewis.
There he is, Humber Koi, sniped.
Gary Rowland says, where is the bidding on here? It's obviously nobody was interested in that fish on the YouTube side of things.
Really? No, it's like, was there any bidding? Yeah, Jack was bidding through YouTube. So.
Oh, sorry, he was. Yes, Jack was. Yeah.
Either on here on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, just type in your comment of your bidding number.
That's right, man. So I enjoyed that. So the next one is, so we're up to 97 people, mate. So we get to 100 quid, man. I'll tell you, 100 viewers. I'll be well happy with that.
That'd be sweet, man.
We have got Kashi Koi in the house, who's a defender. So,
evening, Kashi.
Evening, Kashi, mate. Also got Darren Whitehead in as well. Evening, Darren.
Shane Lewis says, good man, I'll call tomorrow and arrange collection with a thumbs up.
Sweet. So he did. I'm in tomorrow, mate, but I'll probably be in about 12 because I've got a long walk.
Mr. Whitehead, good evening, bud.
So next one, guys, is a fabulous fish. They're few and far between. So if you want to bring that one up, Harry, for us, dude.
Oh.
Okay, so
nice.
This is a ki Utsuri. For those people that don't know, ki is yellow in Japanese. Yellow and black fish. It's a Nisai, and it is from Otsuka. It measures in at 38 centimeters, guys. So not 18, not 20 centimeters. It's a big fish. Okay. Reason why it's starting at a higher price bracket because it commands it. Now, one thing I will point out on these fish is that normally they will have a reaction against a blue background, and the sumi, which is the black for those people that don't know, it will start to lose its colour. So when I say that, they tend to go grey. Okay, so we had this fish in the bowl for quite some time.
Jack Charles opens with 150 starting bid.
Good man, Jack. This is lush in your pond, mate. The sumi actually held extremely well on this fish for the amount of time I had it in a blue bowl, and that reaction didn't seem to happen. I don't know if you was put it in there for an hour or two, whether or not it'd start to work, but you know, for me, in comparison to the others,
155 from Steve Lane.
in comparison to the others, it held out more. Now, again, Steve's seen this fish. I know he's got his eye on it.
This is nice. This is a nice fish.
Yeah. The sumi on it is actually quite strong.
160.
If you look down the tail tube on the opposite flank, you'll see there's quite a lot of sumi. But look how black it is for a Utsuri. You know, that shows extremely strong genetics in the sumi itself, which is part of the reason why I think that this fish held its colour so well.
Yeah. The key is so vibrant as well, though.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that lacks on this fish is a little bit of body. But like I said earlier, I'm not here to throw the food down the fish's necks. And you know, this fish will put on the body. It is built to get big. And if I explain why I think that will happen is, if you look at the backbone and you look at the width of the shoulders when that fish comes towards you, you will see that when that fish starts to grow, you get more into adulthood, because it is only in this eye at the moment. You will see that it starts to then develop the mass on the shoulders, but you've got to feed it to do that. Overall, though, I can see that this will be a big fish at 4 years old. It's only just turned this eye. I bought it halfway through the season as a this eye. I've got about 6 of these in store. For me, the bit that stood out to me on this fish was the actual black pattern that comes over the face, over the eye, and into the actual shoulders. Now you can see that the sumi's still got a little bit to do. You'll see that there's some that's sitting just underneath the skin. That is going to come, and it will solidify and it will tighten up. And that fish, I think, will look absolutely amazing again. So, Jack's out. Thank you very much, Jack. It's a shame, mate, because that fish would look good there, mate.
So it's at Steve at 165.
Yeah, Steve Lane. Chris, if you're in, mate, and you tried for a 165, you missed the one off, mate. So increments of a fiver, guys. If I'm looking for 170, that at that price is a steal. £165 is a steal. A 30 centimetre fish, guys. 38 centimetre fish, sorry. I think it's the biggest on the list tonight. It is. It tops it by 2 centimetres. But again, what do you think of the fish, Gaz? Because I've been.
It's a nice fish, mate. It's the little things that I look at. Again, I know this is silly little things, but just as the little bits that I pay attention to and notice. If you look, it's got 2 sets of barbels, and both of them, top set being black, bottom set being yellow. That in itself is enough just to give it that little bit more character as it comes up to the surface when you're watching it feeding. I think it's a nice fish. It's got a good body on it, and I'm not. Yeah, it's. I get what you're saying. It could be a little bit bigger, but it's a wide. It's got a decent sized peduncle, hasn't it? It's not. It's got a big, thick sec tail. It's going to be a good fish. It's going to grow into it well. You can see that there's still a fair bit more to come up there on the right hand side, which is underlying. So it's going to have a nice, good central band to the middle, just before the dorsal fin. Make a cracking fish.
I'm being tough on myself, guys, because a lot of people tend to look for the perfect fish that is all bodied up. You're not going to get that in store. You have to achieve that yourself in the
170 from Shane Lewis.
So, you know, the fish is nowhere near unhealthy. I'm not saying that I'm selling
No, I wasn't. Yeah.
But yeah, there's, you know, if you put it in a less competitive environment, more water to swim around in, better current, you know, that fish is going to bulk itself up. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's got that nice head pattern though, hasn't it? You can see that that's going to develop around the nose. It's going to fill out over the head and up into the beginning of the shoulders.
Yeah.
When that comes up, it's going to have a nice head pattern too.
I like the front ray, the way that really stands out on the more black pec fin. That leading ray really stands out. It's like, for me, is that like little small point.
Yeah, you know, the black yellow on the dorsal is nice too.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot on here that
it is.
You know,
it is, Vince.
It's a decent sized Utsuri, and again, I will challenge anybody. I will challenge anyone to find a Utsuri of that sort of size for this sort of money, and you know, especially
and
from
that bright to that yellow as well.
Yes,
as Daz says, nice menswear.
You know, even you know, Mountain View Pond there is he's put that he's been looking for over a year to find the right one, you know, and I get
185 from Steve.
Well done, Steve Lane. You know, that I picked up on this video as well, that fish is very alert as well. If you look at its eye when it's swimming the other way, you see it going. I picked up, it's like, one little thing I look at is how the fish sort of, when it's moving through the water, how it's holding itself, how it's alert. You know, a lot of people don't tend to look at them bits, but this fish, you know, for the size of it, it was only in I think it was a 60 cm bowl. You know, it carries itself really well in the water.
It does.
You know,
it's a good fish.
Yeah, I think it's.
I like that when we saw it on Thursday night. That when we got to admit, when you sent them through, I was like, ooh, yeah.
I was just when you was looking at when you done it.
Was, mate,
yeah, I've seen you do that. You know, I think this fish could potentially be a female as well. It's not guaranteed, but I think it will because it's put on quite a considerable more size than the others.
195, Steve Lane.
So I think part of me thinks that this one could be a female, although I've not sexed it. Just so you're aware.
Now, is it the same with ki utsuris as what it is shiro utsuris? Does the sumi come up more in the colder winter months? So when this gets outside, if you've got this outside in a pond, you should expect to see some further development.
Totally.
And pop a little bit more.
You'll find that sumi development as temperatures start to cool down is where
normally tend to become more vibrant, don't they?
Yeah, and that is, you know, those people that show fish, they'll bring their pond temperature down a week or 2 weeks in advance just to really progress the sumi on their fish full stop. You know, it also helps with the skin quality as well, which is something I wish I'd done on this actually. I wish I'd have popped the fish up out the water so you could see the luster.
For me, I do think that's one thing I really am missing some yellow in my pond. I think when you've got yellow amongst all those, you know, reds, oranges, and your whites, when you see that yellow pop through it, that's why I really want to get myself either one of these or a Yamabuki, because my pond is just missing that tone of yellow, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Sparkle that catches your eye as you turn.
I'll tell you what. It's funny you should bring that up because, you know, that was something I should have actually brought in. I have never seen yellow in a pond until I started here. And Alan Tater backed me up. When I got these in, I put them in with some Sakai Sankey that the shop's got, and I rang him up when I put them in. I said, "F me, Al." I said, everything changes in a pond as soon as you put yellow in it. It just really balances it out.
Yeah, I think it does, mate. Honestly, I must have said it on my channel. I must have said it to my group of friends that we talk with. My pond is definitely missing the yellow, 100%. It's just not the same without it at all. So I think if you ain't got no yellow in, whoever it is that gets this and gets that fish in the pond, and it's with Shane Lewis at 200 at present, it'll be a nice addition. It does make those.
I mean, I've got some more, and like I say, the auctions are going to get a little bit more regular. So looking at the fact that we've had a few people interested in this,
I just think they do stand off well against Gosanke. They really do.
Oh mate, they do. I mean, but the only reasons you don't get them in the show is merely down to the sumi doesn't hold as well as what this one did.
Yeah.
You know, it grays off, which makes them they fall to pieces in the show scene. You know, they don't look their best, which is why a lot of the top showmen don't ever put them into a vat. So, I mean, looking at
this one definitely don't look to be doing all that. How old is this again? Is this Nisai?
This is Nisai, yeah.
Nisai.
So,
that's a good
looks like the interest has fell off for this one. So I'm going to call it on going once.
Mr. Shane Lewis.
Going twice.
Get it in quick, guys, if you want to take it. What you saying, Steve Lane? Last chance.
And going 3 times. That is now sold to Shane.
Ooh,
lucky Steve.
Steve, there, mate.
I tell you what, Shane. Not only did you snipe, you literally got it before Steve. So Shane takes that for £200. Tell you what, mate, you've had my eyes out on that one, mate. Oh yeah, that's it. That's a good price for that fish. Well done, mate. It was again a nice little battle occurred on that. So well done, guys, and thank you. I've seen that we've now over 100 and well, it's gone up to 107 at one point, but we're over 107.
Simon, you're right, mate.
I am such up with that. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all again for joining us. Now we've got more of an audience.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
I'll just go over the rules for those people that have joined us late. If you want to make a bid, just type it in the comments. And then the person that types the bid first will take the precedence. So, for example, 2 people bidding at £50. The first one that pops up on my screen will be the one that I accept. In order for those people that win, the person that is showing when I say sold will be the person that takes the fish. If it's someone that's quite close, I have got Ari, my digital and marketing manager here today. I will throw it over to him to do adjudicator, and he will then tell me who it was that's got. So who takes it. In order to pay for the fish, either get hold of me on Facebook through Perfect Aquatics Facebook page or Crafty Koi's Facebook page, or just simply give the shop a call on 01462850822, and we'll do a telephone sale over the phone. If you want to come to the shop, I'll throw you in a free lunch for the fact that you've bothered to come to the shop to say hello. So any questions, just put them up in the comment section. Like I say, I've got someone sat in the green room and he is overlooking everything and doing a fabulous job, by the way. Harry, thank you. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to do this on my own, mate. It's so much to look at. Right,
try doing it in the shed, talking to yourself.
Okay, another special piece. We're going to move on. So Cash is in the house. Shane Lewis in the house. Koi's in the house.
Koi Beginnings. This is nice. This is a nice fish. Now this would have been well appreciated in last Thursday night's all types of Ginin rin. This is stunning, man. 36 cm knee size. A kawa. That is very nice.
Okay, guys. When I got this down into the shop, hand selected, the sumi on this fish was
David in straight away, 310.
Excellent, David. Thank you. The sumi on this fish was nowhere near where it is now, and a lot of people actually overlooked this fish at an early stage, which I was quite happy about. I'm not going to lie. Because for me, this was probably the best fish out of the selection that I took. There's one other fish from this batch that I got from Akawa that's still in the pond that isn't for sale that I'm watching and learning from. But this fish did exactly what I expected it to do. And the sumi is now at a point where it is really quite vibrant. Now, we photographed this with a couple of LED floodlights over the top when we're filming. And that actually don't do the fish that much justice. The skin on this fish is absolutely sublime.
Yeah, it's nice.
The other thing on this fish is, and those of you that was watching on Thursday, Gaz done his appreciation for the gin. One of the things that was missing on some of the less quality fish was the gin as it moves through the different colours on the body.
Yeah.
You'll see on this
clearly see it there on this one, can't you?
Yeah, the gin on this fish is second to nothing. It is of extremely top quality. As I described this fish now, the body on this fish is again very good. The profile is excellent. The skin is starting to develop well on the head now, which is why you'll see that it's a lot whiter. So the shiroji on this is absolutely on point. The sumi and the development on this sumi, if you look into the pec fins, you'll see how black the actual colour is. This is something that you judge the rest of the colour progression on. So if you look around the top of the head, you'll see that there's a a small little spot that's only just started to break with
But you
a
can see how much more's coming around it, can't you?
and I'll tell you, in another year's time,
Yeah,
that
it's
is going to just really, really balance that fish like no other. If you have a look, the fact that we've got a small about sumi towards the rear of the tail, we've got that nice big black wrap around the centre, and when that sumi comes around that one side and over the top of the face to create a lovely memoir, top down, that fish is going to look the dog's nuts. You know, on top of the fact that you've got extremely good gin, you know. So for me, I would say something that's worth throwing in your pond.
Shiroji's strong as well, though, isn't it? That's vibrant white.
Superb. It's something that, if I'm honest, you know, if it didn't sell, which it is by David at 310 up, he'd take increments of a £5. I wouldn't care if we didn't sell this, and I kept it at the shop for another year to grow on.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see its further development for yourself.
You know,
yeah, Shiroji and the Sumi popping like mad. Even they're from Alan Tate, look.
You know, Alan Tate, for those people that don't know, head judge of the BKKSJSC. Excellent Shiroji and Sumi, and Alan will not comment on a pretty fish. He will only ever put comments in based on fact. So, Alan, thank you for that, mate.
Got a good strong head, hasn't it? Good strong head, nice body.
Oh, mate, the development on this fish has gone from strength to strength in the shop. Now, bearing in mind, yeah, we look after our fish here down at Perfect Aquatics, but this is just progressed naturally. And what people don't do is they don't have patience. They don't trust the process. But if I had a picture of this fish when I first had it, I wish I did, and that's probably something that I'll, you know, note to self, is that when I come on to selling them, I can show you the development. So, you know.
That's the beauty, it really is. Come on, has anybody got another advance on 310? You know, 315, anybody anywhere?
36 centimetre in this eye, guys. Good size, good body, big head. Again, plenty more to do, but this fish is going to be a big fish for a gin fish or a gin ring fish.
It looks female as well, doesn't it, body-wise, body shape?
Yeah, it does, mate. Again, not guaranteed though, guys, so don't hold me to that. I don't sex me fish. I should potentially, but to be honest, I've got that many plates spinning and I ain't got time to turn them upside down and shit. You know. But okay, don't look like there's Dave's out on his own on this one. So I'm going to give you 1 minute, guys. If you've got your bids, get them in now. Otherwise, I will sell to David for £310.
Looks like David could get this for an absolute steal.
Total steal. So going once. We've just had a message come through. Let's have a quick look.
That's cracking,
Going
guys. Come on,
twice.
315. Gone once. Everybody out there for 315.
And going 3 times, and that's sold to David for £310. Well done, David. Again, mate, if you can get hold of us through Perfect Aquatics Facebook page or on our online webpage, www.perfectaquatics.co.uk or .com, or give us a call tomorrow on 01462 850 822 to make payment.
Don't forget, anybody that missed the reference number, you can always play this back and pause it and make sure you get that reference number for when you want to call in.
That's cool.
Very nice, that, mate.
Excellent. So 107 people in again. Thank you very much, guys. Again, just to reiterate, you only pay the bid. The only additional fees is shipping fees, and I charge you exactly what we get charged by the shipping company, which is £25. We make no money out of that, but we book it all for you. Just to cover one more thing, you must be at home to sign for the fish. The fish cannot be left on a doorstep with a friend. It's livestock and it's against licensing conditions. So if you win the fish, please make sure that someone's able to physically take it off the delivery person for me, please.
Don't forget to do Crafty a huge favour as well, guys. Smash that thumbs up, help him get this out to a wider audience so people can see it, people can join, and help grow his channel a little bit too, guys.
Okay, moving on then. So after the first one had a nice little bit of a battle going on. From the same batch of fish, another tiny little tozite, 14 cm. It is only 14 cm, quite it's a small fish. It's only just in from Japan about 6 weeks ago. This fish for me has got it all. It's got availability for a window. It's also got a very nice top-down profile and pattern as well. You know,
it's like arrows step down its body.
You know, tiger stripes for me.
Yeah.
If this fish was balanced both sides with the same stripes, and it was full all the way round.
Looking at that, if you look, it does look like it. You know, there could be some more to come there. If you're looking now, left side coming towards us, there is a little bit there that might look like it could. Being a young fish, as young as it is, that might fill in and make that perfect. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 striped.
It will.
It is there, look, so you can see it there at the opposite side. It is there.
There's a little bit. There's a bit of sumi development to come. I don't think it will go all.
I don't think it'll marry all the way up to the dorsal, but it's still going to have some there to break that little gap up, isn't it?
You know, but again, you just imagine it from the side that we're seeing it now against a window when it's 50
This
cm.
one's battling up.
You know,
40 quid at Jack for Jack Charles Coates.
Yeah, Chris Taylor was in first.
Oh, sorry, Chris Taylor's already in there first.
Well in, Chris. You know, for me, again, from Hirasawa, really good breeder for big fish. Utsuri have been extremely difficult to get this year, which is why they're so late in the season. But it matters not. You know, even if you're not in a heated pond, you know, it will catch up next year. The quality of the fish itself is of good. When you're looking for tozai, you're looking more at the body shape than the pattern. The pattern comes last. It's got a decent sized head for the size of a fish of 14 cm. It's got a nice round mouth. If you look at the mouth, you can see it's sort of just slightly curved off and round. That's because it's got a big mouth for the size of the fish. Big mouths mean that they'll eat more food. They'll get more food down and they won't rely on the tiniest little pellet. They'll suck it up. And because it's got a nice big head, and if you look at the profile now, you'll see that it tapers off lovely. The peduncle's not too skinny. The odame and the peduncle is of a good fleshy nature. So as that fish turns 30 cm, 40 cm, and that pattern goes with it, it's going to look absolutely banging. You know. And for 50 quid,
50 quid, you can't go wrong at all.
We could do increments of £2 on these ones, guys. It's only a £30 starter. So, you know, don't let it escape for 52 quid. If you haven't got a Utsuri in the pond, it's a beautiful addition.
Yeah, it is.
You throw it in amongst your black and whites and your red whites and blacks. It again changes the dynamics of the pond. You know, it will be the first fish that you see when you look into a pond because of how vibrant the colours are.
Yeah, they pop, mate, don't they?
They do.
Even though mine's only a small one, it stands out every time I approach pond. It's one of the first fish you can see.
I mean, with this, I mean, the waters. This was filmed towards the end of all the filming, which is why it's probably a little bit too much debris in the water. But I'll put a note back to the guys when they're doing it. But the skin luster on this is good. But if I was to bring that up, the he itself, because we do feed colour food in the shop, it really bounces, you know. And for a young fish, the pigment is still to develop, you know. So if you hit this with some good colour food, takazumi or sake akari, and the pigment starts to build through the layers of the colour. What I will say is, if you look at the Shinoda and what Ricky does for them as they get big, them fish ain't glowing because you don't feed them the right diet. They're glowing because the colour food is sake, and it works in the pigment to bring it out. You know, so you know you are what you eat, and if you've got good colour food for this sort of fish, it's going to do them the world of justice. So looks like the battle slowed down a bit, but we're at 50.
Certainly does. 50 quid it's at with Jack. And I agree there with what Dave says there. It's them eyes that do pop, doesn't it?
Yeah, the sumi's
got a nice little sparkle around its eyes.
the sumi's going to come more around the head as well. Sumi always develops last around the head. And if you have a look at the right eye, it looks like it's had a bit of a boxing match. It's got a nice sumi ring around it. And I think that's going to get stronger. And because it's got a nice orange eye, again, up against a window, that's really going to stand out. You know, big old orange fish eye staring at you, especially when it gets to 50 or 60 cm. But okay, I'm going to call this then, guys. So we've going once on that.
52 quid to bid if you want to drop one in, guys. See if you can snipe it from Jack.
Did the first one go? 52. Going twice. So if you want it, guys, I suggest you put it in now.
Type now or forever hold your peace.
And that is sold to Jack Coates. Thank you, Jack. Good to see you on there again, mate.
Eric Gorman, it would develop into a cracker. Certainly will, mate.
It's going to, mate. You know, again, it's only a little fish. You've got to have that vision. You've got to understand where it goes, you know. Unlucky, Gary.
Unlucky, son.
Right, so I'd say there's potentially a 30-second lag then. Okay, looking at that, the way that that's just dropped in. But again, if we come out of that screen now, mate, thank you. Too late, laughy faces, a little bit. Let's take that off. That's cool.
What we got in now? How many we got with us now? Is it 88 watching?
Yeah, still at 199, just under 100.
Oh,
it peaked up when that Ginin shiro come on. So
that was a good fish, man. 310 quid. That was an absolute bargain, man.
Jack's coming in tomorrow. I see. I've got your Sankey, mate. I'll have to have a look at that. It was doing quite well. Jack bought a nice Sankey, or his missus bought a nice Sankey off us. Right, we have got everyone's favourite coming up. For those of you watching, if you're not part of Facebook, if you can, in fact, put the other overlay on for us, Harry. Yeah. If you're not part of our Facebook group, Perfect Aquatics, please join us because a lot more stuff gets dropped on there than anywhere else. We have also got, for those people that choose to be part of it, a VIP club. Can't quite see it on there, so that's something for us to look at how we're going forward. On the right hand side of your screen, you'll see a QR code, guys. At the end today, when you have a look back, I'll make sure this goes on the end of the video. If you scan that, join our Telegram group. I have got those people in there will see previews before anybody else of any auction fish. They will also get little specials. So I may just drop a coin in there from time to time that is only available to those people on our Telegram group for a cheaper rate for somebody to snap up. Also codes as well. And if you're also part of tropics or marine fish, we have also got little VIP clubs for those people as well, because we sell all sorts of fish up there. It's quite difficult. Many koi keepers, like you guys, have got trops or marine fish as well.
I have, mate, yeah.
So
sat outside of mine now.
And have a look if you have got more than one type of fishing variety, species, all of that sort of malarkey. We even sell crabs and lobsters and shit like that. I did say shit then, didn't I? But it's all right because we've gone past 3 minutes, guys. Anyway, goldfish. You either love them or you hate them. Alan Tate, you can keep your thoughts to yourself on this one.
Now this guys is one of the best kohakus you've ever going to see.
Right, this is a very high quality Tamasaba. People will either love them or hate them.
Was it Tamasaba?
Tamasaba, yeah.
Tamasaba.
It comes from NND in Japan.
This is mint.
Now, when I say it's high quality, it follows the same sort of traits with regards to the coloration. So you will see that the red palette, the Benny palette, is extremely vibrant, and it is the same as it comes between the eyes, which is desirable, all the way through to the tail. The Benny plate again also, the little ring on the tail, if it's got a tail, right, it stops, and then you've got a shiroji step, which again is absolutely desirable. The other part of this fish that is desirable is the fact that there's a head pattern and all of the fins are clean with the exception of the dorsal, but that doesn't matter because it is joined as part of the pattern. So as you're looking down, you see that the pattern actually follows into the dorsal fin. On top of that, because these aren't just pond fish top down, a lot of people keep these in tanks. They also highly desirable to look at from the sides.
Yeah.
As you'll see on there, you will see that the kiwa is absolutely second to none again, and it follows the scalping thing, Marizomi kiwa, basically where the colour finishes on the end of the scale, and it does that on both sides. Now this is just into knee side, literally. So again, I've not thrown food at this fish to grow it, but I have got one in my own pond that is on heat and it's on sake, and I have already put 8 centimeters on that fish, and it come with the same batch as this. This fish is a little banger, and if you haven't got one in a koi pond, you can keep them in a koi pond. And I'll tell you now, it's the one that everybody watches in my koi pond, especially the kids. So if you get loads of kids around, they marvel at it because it looks like a ball with a tail, and it just bobs along, and it just don't care. It gets smashed around by all the bigger koi, but it's always first to the food, fat, because it likes its food. So in one night
on it though, it's popping like crazy, that, isn't it?
Mate, honest to God, they've I got a few kohaku type Tamasaba,
awesome.
And actually they've done extremely well. I've got lots of other Tamasaba, but this one I would say is one of 3 good examples, like very good examples that I've got.
NC Koi, I've asked a quick question there. Have we got too much flow in our pond? What they like against a good amount of flow?
No, I mean, I don't know how much flow you've got going through there, ANC, but what I will say is that, yeah, they do. I mean, Rick's fish, he had a huge pond full, and he don't hold back on flow. He actually like swears by having a good flow. They're fine. The one thing that you've got to be careful of is as these fish get bigger, you've got to make sure that you've got a decent depth. Okay, so if you see Rick's, he's got one that's called the Beast. It looks like a pumpkin with a tail.
Yeah, I'm going to say these can get to like 30 cm, can't they?
Oh, mate, they're huge. The one that Rick's got is absolutely massive. But when it gets close to the top, its swim bladder gets affected and it starts to wobble about. And I said to Rick, so, because I've been learning this year, that's why I took them home, and I'm glad I did. But as they get bigger and wider, they need that depth to support their swim bladder because of the shape of them. But I said, well, if it gets that big, how does it feed? Now, there's two scenarios. It either feeds off the top, which it did. Now, Rick's fish, that shared the pond with his premium koi. When I say premium koi, it's got 80, 90 centimetre fish at the farm, and it swims around with those. And he fed, and it come up, no word of lie, swam back down, The other positive about these is that they're easy to catch. They're not going to swim off like the koi do. They're easy to catch. You can literally dip your hand in and pick them up, right? Because, for me, I like that. But I'll tell you what, Craig, right? So Craig's already bought one of these when I first got them in. So he has seen them, and he knows he's getting a cracking deal for 90 quid. Right.
And for all those of you that have friends that don't know much about koi, you could always tell them it's just that stumpy one that never grew.
Right, so
it does look like a stumpy little kohaku, doesn't it?
But the thing is, with these, they're huge in Japan. They're absolutely massive. You see Lee Hadfield's videos if you haven't watched.
Yeah.
Every farm has now started to put these through their ponds, and there was one there that was going for £3,500. I'm not saying that this is a £3,500 fish. What I am saying is that it's worth more than 95 that Eric's just bid. Right, this is a very high quality Tamasaba. The colour, the shiroji, the fact that the fins have got absolutely nothing infiltrating from the belly, with the exception of the dorsal fin. But like I've explained, that doesn't matter because it follows the actual. I know you do, mate. It follows the pattern. Follows the dorsal. Yeah, he should make it 5. He's on his 5th.
Craig wants this fish.
I'll tell you what, mate, while you're there, mate, how have they grown your fish, mate? So Craig was the first in when he knew I was getting these, and he knew I was getting one of them. I said to him, I'm taking one of these home, and he went, go on,
if you know your fancy goldfish and you like your fancy goldfish, you'll know all about these. This is worth way more than 105 quid.
Oh, yeah, a lot more. But we're on an auction, and you ain't going to get it unless you bid.
Look at the draw.
You know, and there is no reserve. Whatever's showing on the screen, it will sell for. But he was straight in
from Tokyo 1.
He said to me, "Oh, Crafty, go on, man. You pick first because I know you've been waiting." I said, "No, man." I said, "You know, I'll take whatever's left. These fish are for you guys." And first one he picked out, I said, "That's what I wanted." He was like, "Well, I'll put it back." I said, "No," and it had lovely kuchibeni over its lips. They get quite a similar style to what we're seeing there, but it had lipstick, man. It looked
Simon S is saying, "How big can these get?"
Okay, so again, I will push you over to Ricky's channel. He's just put part 3 of the Tamasaba showcase out. So Ricky Stoddart Nishigoi is what you're looking for. But Rick has got his to about 30 cm.
Yeah.
And I know that it can get bigger. Rick said to me they get bigger.
I think I've seen them for 35 online. I think I've seen them at 35.
So Will's Coy's just asked a good question. They grow. Oh, Rick just popped up there.
Ricky Stoddart says I'm getting close to 30 cm.
There you go. So thanks for watching, Rick. I've plugged you enough, mate. I'll also give all your magazines in the background as well. I'm a good ambassador for you, mate. So
they do these. They do them in a different colour as well, don't they? You can.
Yeah. You
like
can
a,
get,
like a Sankey pattern.
Yeah, Sankey showa patterns. I've got I don't know, probably 20 pieces left.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not all kohaku type. I've got some smaller ones as well. But to go back to Will's question, do they get longer and fatter? What you should be seeing is as they get longer, they should also be expanding with that. So they keep their actual shape as they grow, if that makes sense. So it doesn't go one way or the other. The fact of the matter is, when I've seen these down at Rick's, some of the deformities that you'd see is that the actual backbone and then the tail starts to rise up. That's what you don't want to see. These fish that I've got, none of them show any signs of that. So this is still.
They don't get the massively long fins though, do they? They're like the.
Some of them have. All right, so some of them will come with that. You've got your 2 variants. You can have your long fin as well as your normal.
Oh, right.
I'm quite a good lover of a long fin of these. I think that they suit that because of the body shape. But you know, equally they look as good. You know, but
I've only ever seen them with a normal.
You know, it looks like to me that you know, Craig's sort of out there on his own now. So if there's any increments or any further bids, looking for
a request there for a spotlight video on them, if you could, please, Crafty.
Can you do a spotlight video on them, please? Yeah, I will.
From Eric Gorman.
Yeah, I will. I'll do some. So Rick's just popped up again. Sorry, mate.
Koi Kicks 125.
So you should see the ones I've just fought for my private collection, mate. I was just promoting your part 3 video, Rick. I know for a fact
135 from Craig
that there's that we're going to see them anyway. But I'm hoping I'll get a preview. You know, if you want, you can pop me over a little ping on chat, mate, and I'll show people on screen now. But yeah, looking over in Japan, very, very sought after. And actually, it's one thing that I'm quite grateful for Ricky bringing over here, because I think they look excellent in the pond. And here, down at Perfect Aquatics, I've actually got koi in with the Tamasaba, just to show that they can cohabit and cohabit well. You know, because people tend to view these as tank fish. But the bigger they get, they can have, they like to have a good bit of depth to them. Now, to get them big, like what Rick's got, like the big ones, if you're buying that big in Japan, you're paying an arm and a leg on the basis that they need depth. So because they need depth, that depth of water that they come across in obviously increases the weight that the carriage is. So, you know, you're throwing pounds on top of the weight of water just for the fact that you want a bigger fish. So buy them at this size and watch them grow in your pond, because they're great fun. But Craig's obviously wants this, so 135. Any advances on 135, guys? I'm going to move it on because we've still got a few to get on. So rather than holding back, I'm going to call it once now. So go in once. Yeah. So Nigel, remember, mate, Ryan works for somebody else, mate. Don't be selling all his fish for me. My sponsors, I even sponsored
straight in there with 140.
I even sponsored his koi club as well at his last show. You know, now he's flogging them through someone else. Tell you what, you're lucky I like you, Nige. That's all I can say, mate. So 109 people watching. Don't let it go for that, mate.
Thank you very much for joining us, guys.
Things are worth.
Ricky Stoddart says, "Give me 5."
Craig's back in 145. Now, again, Craig's got 4 of these already, so on the basis he's got 4, I think that shows that the quality of what we've got here, you know.
So new koi kicks, 150 to take it.
So
you know
Ricky Stoddart is, I think he's probably searching for some pictures for me. I might be able to share them, but I would advise anybody that, you know, hasn't got one of these in the pond and you want to know a little bit more, Ricky Stoddart's channel, Ricky Stoddart Nishigoi, on YouTube. He has got 3 videos, part 1, 2, and 3 for Tamasaba. You'll learn
there, mate.
You know, I personally, you know, if I could, I would have a pond just of these.
Just of them. I think the quality of that, you can see it, can't you? You can just see the shiro just banging again on that. That's popping like crazy. It's brilliant white. The Benny on it, I mean, they're interfloring it from the head plate right through the body. It's almost a perfect free step, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it looks
two-step, really. 2-step. I thought there were a break over side there, but there isn't, is there? But I mean, it's the same Benny from tip of the nose to the base of the tail, all the way through it.
So Rick's just sent.
Cracking.
Rick's just, let me see if I can put a bit of. I'm a bit tight even on my phone. I don't have it on its brightest setting.
Koi kicks. Craig warning.
But there's Ricky's new ones.
Oh, get him.
Look, you see the size of that with his hand, right? So
that's mint.
There's the other size, like you can see. So again, guys, that's what these will get
that
to.
Look like a showering pattern. Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I just seen a message pop up from Nige there. Am I getting Ricky's surplus? No is the answer to that. Ricky will tell you that I'm a pain in his ass when I go up to the farm, because I will say I want them and he'll say they're not for sale. And then I'll say, well, I'm not having anything then. And then we'll go through this little bidding war. It's like going to Japan, except in England, where he'll say it's not for sale and then you have to wear him down. And then eventually he'll sell the ones that I want. So, you know, again, 55.
I reckon in the next few years, mate, these will be in everybody's pond alongside the koi.
Yeah, I think they really will, because the Japanese are starting to push them a little bit more now. I think the demand in Europe has gone up. So, in the UK, but again, it's being pushed by the right people, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, you know, on that basis, there's a lot of trust in that. And one thing that I will say is Rick he don't push shit fish.
No. What are they like for hardiness for wintering, Crafty?
Okay, so that's a good question because I asked Rick exactly the same when I first come across them. They're hard, very hard. They're hardy little fuckers, was his words to me. And I was like, right, okay, so good in the cold. He said, yeah, because they like the depth, they will happily survive, and probably, even though they're a weird looking thing, they will survive better than most koi. So you know, goldfish are hard, aren't they? They could live in a puddle. You know what I mean?
Coin kicks with a 155.05.
If we're going to go, well, let's go increments of 2 then. If you want it, you can take it for 157.
NND keep these at 3 degrees C over winter. There you go. So that's a hardy little fish.
Okay, and from the man himself, you know, just to give you a little bit of confidence, and also NND keep these at 3 degrees over winter, so they choose to keep them at that price. Okay, so right then, going twice then, guys. I think we've bounced these little fat goldfish long enough.
157 if you want to steal it quick.
157, so it's going twice. I'm going to give it another 1 minute. If I don't see any further bids, it's going to go to Craig, who's going to have to extend his pond because he's got 4 of these on.
Don't forget to smash that thumbs up, guys, please. Let's give Crafty's channel and his auctions a little bit more support.
What did Alan put in the comments earlier?
A pretty little fish, that, so I've timed myself out.
I'll be having words for you later, Mr. Tate. So, okay then, and go in then 3 times, and that will be sold. Who's last on the list there?
There you go, Craig. Well,
Craig, it'd be good to see you, mate. I ain't seen you for a while. Been keeping yourself out my way because you always spend all your cash when you come in. £155. Well done, mate. That's a good buy. Again, guys, anybody, I have got plenty of more of these down in the shop. If you are interested, hit me up on Facebook or on Messenger or whatever. Give us a shout down the shop.
I'd agree with that one though, wouldn't you? Farmer Koi says, Marmite, you're either going to love them or you're going to hate them, 100%.
Yeah, I think no, you know, it's the koi world. Like I said earlier, it's like most people have got a love for fish, love koi. They'll love fish of all types, whether or not they make sure you put their clappy hands out. Whether you pretend that you don't like them, you'll be fascinated by them. You'll walk in the shop, you'll stand and look at them for 30, 40 seconds, and you'll go, oh, look at that one, look at that one. Every time you come in, you'll go and have another look. You know, so there's plenty out there. So again, we do sell trots, we do sell marine, we sell coral, we sell inverts. We got some nice little hermit crabs in there. What are they, vampire hermit crabs or something? Yeah, mad little things. Got a decorated crab that walks along sticking shit to itself.
Oh yeah, I saw them last time I was there. They're pretty cool then.
They
take all the stuff from the surroundings, don't they? So they camouflage themselves.
Velcro skin, and they like, you know, if you put an egg box in it, walk around with an egg box on its head, like it's like you can't see me. But we had a massive one, and I was like, great, no one will buy that. I'm going to have that in the office. We went the next day. Well, it's only because it was big. I liked it. But moving on anyway. So thank you very much for everyone that's joined in so far. Very much appreciated. We are moving on to Ginin Saragoi now, Nisai from Marasaka. 24 cm. It is, again, really good gin quality on this fish. And we are looking for a £50 starting bid on this. So £50 Marasaka, Ginin Saragoi. So then, Gaz, I know that you're looking for one of these.
I do want one of these, mate, yeah.
You know, for me, this is it's one of those fish that you'll either love or you'll hate. If you haven't got any gin in your pond, personally, I quite like the fact that because it's a grey fish with a silver fleck to it, again, it just changes the dynamics of the pond if you're stocked out with red, whites, and blacks.
I lost mine 2 years ago, mate, and it's always been one that I've want to replace. I've got some that I need to move on. I've got fish in my pond that I'm not. Let's put it this way. I've progressed out of. I want to give my dad a nice gift and drop a good few of them in his pond for him, and then replace with the fish that I do want. And a Seragoi is one of them, and a Ginrin one as well. I mean, Ginrin's my favourite. I love to see Ginrin on a fish. When you see that fish catching it on a nice sunny day, and you see that sparkle when it catches it the sunlight, and it as a fish just turns to come up for a bit of food, catches your eye every time, just makes them pop.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, for me, this is not a show quality koi. I'll be perfectly honest with that. However, it has got the attributes to go into a pond. It still commands very good money. It's going to get a good size to it, bearing in mind it comes from that sort of bloodline that gets big. You can see on this, it's got a decent profile to it where you can already see the meat behind the gills, you know, coming from that background where, you know, you've got your chags, etc., that like to eat, like to get big. It's already there. Again, I have not thrown food in the pond. I've not looked to grow this fish on. So as soon as you change how this fish lives by putting it into an environment where there's less competition, there's a better food regime going in, you are going to get the size out of this fish. And again, as this fish gets bigger, it's going to look even better. Yeah. You know, good profile, nice size head. You can see as it breaks the water that the skin luster to the fish is excellent, and it gets closer to the surface.
Again, big mouth on it, hasn't it?
Oh, it's got a good feeder. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good feeder, mate. This fish for me is, I think it's one of the last from a small batch that we had, but it's been separated, so we don't have everything in the pond. Okay, so for me, it's time for it to move on to a new home, and it is going to Jack for 60 quid at the minute.
It's got a nice roping pattern to it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, so, you know, it will develop a fukurin.
I think, personally, for myself, around the pecs, the dorsal, the tail, that'll all pick off in a nice, full, black, picked out line all the way around it. You can see that it almost looks like it might even have that line around the top lip as well.
Oh, definitely, mate. It's going to, you know, for this, as it gets bigger, it's nowhere near mature. As it matures and that skin thickens, the fukurin will come on the scalation. I don't think anyone can disagree with me that the scalation on this fish is absolutely spot on. The downside to this fish is that it's got a couple of little black spots on its head and into its fin.
But saying that, you say, I mean, yes, it's got the odd little shimmy on it. But if you look throughout the pecs, there's the odd little shimmy that kind of make it look like it's supposed to be there.
Okay, so let me.
What I mean? It balances it out.
Let me just highlight. Richard, this fish is not struggling, my friend. This fish is in the best care. Okay, for those people that don't know, I've just achieved a 5-star pet shop license, which is not easy to achieve. It was inspected by a vet, and on the basis that we're inspected by a vet, they do a variety of tests, and not one thing was picked up by a vet. Okay, we've got extra measures in place as well, which is why we've got 5 stars. So please, if you're going to make a comment, right, if you're going to ask a question or make a statement, there's 2 different things. We're a business. This fish is not struggling. It's just in a small bucket because we've netted it out the pond. And like any fish, it will want to try and get out of an area that it don't want to be. Okay, so I understand it's a valid question. But if it's done to try and harm what it is that we're trying to sell, please don't, because these fish are kept in the best of care, mate. Thank you.
If anything, the fish is eyeing up and looking. Watch its eyes. Well, each time it comes to the top, it's looking and it's looking around as if to say, which is my exit route? That's not a fish that's struggling. That's a fish with enough energy to be able to jump out there should it want to do.
Yeah, I agree. But at the moment, it's with Jack coats of for £60. Again, good fish for the money.
That's
Looking for increments of £2, guys. It don't have to be a fiver. So if you want it, another £2.
Come on, Dave. 62 quid. That's just one Indian takeaway, as ANC said there.
It's a cheap fish for 60 quid, 24 cm. So thank you very much for the support there, guys. I just want people to be aware that you know, certain slander is not what it's about. The fish is perfectly fine in good hands.
Yeah.
So
it's a healthy fish.
It's a good fish, mate.
65
really.
From Mark.
Whoa! I tell you what, it's going once then. Going once. Any advances looking for £2 increments? It don't have to be a fiver.
You can tell by the way it holds itself in water. That's a healthy, strong fish. Look, mate, look when it comes back round in ball here now and it turns and it flicks its pecks out, all big, strong. It's a bold fish. It's not a fish looking like it's struggling. It's a fish looking like it's look backing up there. Watch. Eyeballs check out to see where it can go. It's looking quick power flick at tail and. I bet you had to keep your eye on that one.
Oh, mate, it's one of them that was looking for a quick escape without.
Yeah, 100%.
One thing that I've
Saragossa are like that though, aren't they? They're skittish. They're quite a wild bloodline. Yeah, you ask Vince where the nets and balls is. That damn thing jumps straight out at net before he can even get it tuck ball every time.
Well, one thing that you'll see on this, as the fish swims round to the right in a moment and we have a better top down, look at the profile on the fish, the head size in comparison to the body and the way that it tapers off there. It's just, you know, the scalation's great. The Ginin across that scalation and the profile. Again, give this fish another 20 cm, put it into the 45 bracket, you know, like the size of the key at Utsuri at the beginning. Right, it changes the dimensions of the fish again. But it looks like Mark's out on his own, going twice. I'm going to give it one more minute, and then I'm going to call this one, guys.
67. If anybody wants to take it for an absolute steal.
And that is sold to Mark Childs. Well done, Mark. You got yourself a good bargain there, mate.
Great body and Ginin from ANC Koi. Agreed, mate.
Unlucky DT, thanks for having the bid though, mate. Well done, ANC. I agree with that, mate. Good body, good Ginin, good scalation as well. You've done yourself well there, Mark. Well done, mate. So, just to remind you, you can give us a call tomorrow at the shop to make payment. Pop into the shop. We'll give you a free lunch. Or pick me up on Facebook or WhatsApp or, you know, or the website. So many different channels. I'm easily found. All you got to do is look at Perfect Aquatics online. And again, Mark's going to pop in tomorrow. So be good to see you, mate. So moving on then, because we're getting on a bit, and I'm about 6 hours from home. Okay, again,
this is nice.
Another fish that tends to be doing the rounds.
I'll start a bid on this, 50 quid.
Again, okay, so there you go, 50 quid there, mate, from Gaz. You'll see that Rick has got a few of these knocking about. I was lucky enough to be at its harvest. What stands out for me on this fish? So Mizuo Ogon from Hirasawa. Again, Hirasawa, a good breeder of fish out in Japan. It's only a 22 centimeter tozai. Off the back of this, I didn't know. I'll be perfectly honest because I'm in the trade now, I've got to do a bit more research on these, and I didn't know a great deal about these. And
This is beautiful.
I seen these at the show at another dealer, and I approached Rick and said, "Right, Rick," I said, "I've seen these," and he said, "Don't you worry about it. I've already got some coming in." And lo and behold, I've got a pond full. I've sold quite a few of these already, but I'd already nabbed this one out to the side, which is what I tend to do. I'll have a little sift through. For me, this fish has got great traits for the type of fish it is. Now, I didn't know a great deal, so I spoke to somebody.
Head's clean as hell.
Oh,
sorry.
Alan,
This is a nice fish, man. This is one I want. This.
Alan Taylor spoke to and said, "Right, tell me a little bit more about these sort of fish." These are quite a popular fish in the show scene. They get big, and they tend to really hold their colour extremely well. Now, the good thing about these fish is that the zipper, which is one of the strong points on this fish because it is full.
That's the bit, mate. Right there, of that, just at the back of the base plate. Look at look how it is there, and it joins up, and it's perfectly matched.
Yeah, the
one
scale.
Big scale, one small, one big, one small. And then it steps off to the 2, 2, 2, 2 all the way down its body. It's mint.
It's very, very balanced and symmetrical.
It is.
Remember, the scales grow with the fish. This fish is only small at 22 cm. So again, as that fish gets big, and they do get big, the body starts to develop. It starts to open up, but them scales also grow and they grow big with it. So as that colour is, again, it's only on a toe's eye, so it's not at its full pigment yet. Plenty of colour food in that fish, plenty of body. As it grows and the frame starts to develop and them scales get bigger, that fish is going to just be like an luminous bulb in your pond. It's going to look absolutely...
Look down the full lateral line, not a rogue scale, not one. All the way down the lateral line, all the way down. It's mint both sides.
Yeah. Extremely good. The other thing I like on these guys is that the fin finishes on that silvery white it sort of fades into that silvery white hue.
Metallic luster to it, isn't it, with it?
Again, I've had my eye on one of these, but the worst thing for me, it's like koi are like drugs, aren't they?
Yeah, this is my drug. I want one of these in this colour and the one in the yellow. I want a key and I want the orange.
But when these fish come into store, mate, I go, I want that fish. But I can't just keep saying I want a fish and take it home, because I'd end up with a pun like Rick's, mate, where I've got so many fish in there that I won't be able to feed them all. So for me, it's nice to have them. But I do sometimes look and think, I wish I had space.
Look how clean that head is.
Yeah.
And the thing that sets it off for me is a perfectly clean head, the nice little pat on both sides of the nostril, and then as it goes into the beginning of the zip, it looks like a little flower cluster at either side. And that really, to me, that's you're going to see that coming up every time feeding, and it's what I like about my Benny Ginger as well. The same sort of thing. It's the same sort of head nose pattern to it. Yeah. And that, to me, if that little bit there, dead centre, just fills out and the sumi comes up on that, and that's just fills out and makes that nice little... It looks to me like it's going to make a little bit of a diamond shape right on the centre of its head. That'll be mint. It'll just set that zip off and that pattern off perfect. That's what I'd be hoping for it. That's what I look at it when I see it.
What I'm looking for is what comes with the koi as it gets bigger.
Yeah.
What are we going to see from this? Sorry, mate, you can put that. What are we going to see from this fish as it grows, as it develops? For me, it's not at this size. I'm looking at, like I said earlier, I'm looking at the profile, the frame, the size of the head, how it holds itself up in the water. Is the skin of a good condition? That's what I'm looking at. But then what I want to know is where it goes from there. So as soon as you've got this at like Mick Lawson, it's got 60 cm. Right. What is this fish going to look like at 60 cm?
Banging is what it's going to look like at 60 cm. It's going to look absolutely mint.
Yeah. With size, with good diet, including the colour food in there, this fish is only going to go from strength to strength.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you know, it's going to become more vibrant.
What we at now? 115 at David. Come on, there's got to be seeing more than 115 for this.
Again, just to highlight, guys, you're only paying there's no VAT or anything like that to add on to this. It is the price that you pay. The only additional fee is the delivery fee, and all I do is charge what our courier charges us. So, you know, you literally swallow that cost. You are getting a fish. If it's 115 quid, I'm going to call it now, going once. You're getting a fish of an extremely good standard for that amount of money, guys. So increments of £2 then. So I'm happy to let it go for another £2, 117 quid. I'll call it once.
Gary Robson, 120.
That come up for you before it did me.
I've dual monitors, mate. I got the best of both worlds. I can see it on I can see it twice.
Mate, no one likes to show off,
This is showing off. Honestly, that is one of my that's my next fish that I want.
Okay, that's good. You know, even if you can't get this fish, guys, I'm going to say it. We've got plenty more down the shop. For me, the bit that sticks out on this fish is that zipper.
Yeah, 100%, mate. As it starts on the head, I just like how it's that little patterny bit either side, that little cluster there. And then if it turns to the other side, it's mirrored image of it. And then the zips 2 by 2 by 2 all the way down. It's mint.
Yeah, it's a very good high quality fish, mate. This is. It's a high quality fish, without a shadow of doubt.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the appreciation, and not assassination, the appreciation on this fish is the colour, the scale, and the fact that the head is very clean, and it's going to get a good size just looking at the frame. Okay, so that's going twice. So one more minute, guys.
Gary's got a belting fish here, mate. And if you could do me a huge favour, Gaz, if you get this and you keep this, I want to see it in a couple of years, mate. I want to see what it becomes. Because I think this is going to grace your pond, mate. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, with regards to any fish like these, guys, I'm always... I get messages from a lot of customers. I like to keep a tabs on my fish. I like to see how they develop. I like to see whether the development I think that's going to come from fish, whether or not I'm right or wrong. You know, I've got a good eye. So, you know, and I've also got some good teachers being Rick and Alan. So, you know, I do get my info from people in the know. I don't make it up. So anyway, so if there's no more bids, then that is sold to Gary Robson for £120. Well done, Gary, mate. Thank you very much for that. Again, call the shop or find us on social media and drop us a message, mate, with your telephone number, and we'll get hold of you. Remember, all purchases are or should have delivery of 20, or will have a delivery fee of £25 if you want it delivering, or you can collect it from in store. Come and see me down at the shop, and I will also throw you in a
nice fish that goes.
free lunch. So moving on, then we're going to go straight into the next lot, which is an Asagi. I'm hoping
this is good too.
Again, a complete oversight by so many customers. These fish.
This should be going pop, 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 bid, 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 bid. This is clean, guys. This is beautiful.
These fish are such an oversight because they're not the finished article in any shape of the imagination when they come to the quality that these have. For those people that know, Asagis, they usually have a very high quality red marking around the bottom of the lateral line, through the gill plate and around the eye, the dorsal fin, the pec fins, and tend to go into the actual tail fin itself. When these fish,
it's only a torsi as well,
but it's not finished.
CM.
It's not finished anywhere near.
Nowhere near.
When these first come into the shop, guys, there was absolutely zero red Benny in them whatsoever. Right, which means that those people that don't know, they look and they think, oh, it's a grey fish. It's like, what does anyone see in them? So I had to actually carry what a finished product looked like to show them what the fish will turn into. The problem is that they don't trust the process, a lot of people. But now, if you look back at the fish that's on the screen now, if you look in the pec fins, you will see that the benny is starting to show. All right, for a tozai that's going into nisai, this fish is exactly where I would want it to be for its age. Some people, if you want to hold on longer, I've got two more examples of an Oya Asagi in the pond. One is only just starting to develop its benny, and I would say that's probably 45 cm, probably 48 cm. The other is a little bit more advanced, it's a year older, and the red still isn't fully developed. Now, the benefits to having a fish that has not got the benny at this size, and it isn't complete at this size, is that you are getting the finished fish further into its life, which means that you're not going to see the full beauty of that fish until it's 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah,
right? That's what you really want.
This at 4 pushing into 5 years old is going to look absolutely crap.
It's going to look nothing like it is today.
No, it's not at all.
The only thing that you will see in this is that the scalation. You will see that the part of this fish has got a little bit of Kano Gin in it, which is like just on the edges of the scale.
It looks so much like mine, it's unreal, mate.
Good reticulation. The video probably darkens the image a little bit, as you can see as it goes over the top. It's probably a lighter blue than what you're seeing on screen now. But what you will see when the light catches it is the scalation on this fish. When the fukurin develops across the top of that fish, and you're going to get, again, the wideness starts to develop on it, onto the length, and then scales, and the fukurin comes over, it's going to look absolutely amazing. Reticulation is good on this.
It is.
The reason
what I like about it is from the top down now, as you can see it, you see that colour coming through on its top. Then from the side, you've got that where it almost turns into a little bit from the coloration into a silver, and then from underneath that silver, you've got that orange that you can just start to see coming through. So it's exactly what the same stage. My fish is. It's literally just gone into Nisai now. It's 33 cm, and mine's just that little bit further forward than this, and you can really see what this is going to become. We will watch how much I've watched mine over the last 12 months, and that is going to make a nice fish.
I mean, for me, again, if people again look for too much of the perfect fish, and Asagi is one of those. This is a good quality fish. It's not high quality, it's good quality. I'll point out its imperfections against its perfections. Some say that's a bad sales technique. I disagree. I'm being honest. If you look just behind the left eye, right, the scalation is not the best just on that flank. However, as that fish develops, it's going to still develop into an exceptionally good fish. Would it win in a show? No, it wouldn't, because there are better examples of an Asagi out there. But 99% of koi keepers don't show, right? And for the price of a 30 cm Asagi from Oya, and for those people that don't know who Oya is, his fish tend to develop the benny a lot further down the line. He is a world champion breeder, or all Japan champion breeder for Asagi. He is one of the best breeding. In fact, in my opinion, the best Asagi breeder in Japan. There are two. For me, Oya takes it. And when you look,
quick to take it, Aaron. Come on.
When you look back over the history of Oya and what he has managed to develop, absolutely cracking fish. But with Nigel at 52 quid.
I'm going to let you guys into a little secret here. Nigel knows what he's looking at when it comes to one of these, because he has an absolute cracking one from Adam Bayer. So if he's bidding on it, that tells you something.
Yeah, he's an Asagi lover tonight.
He is. Yeah.
You know, again, I know I've said it twice already tonight, but this is one of, if not the oldest variety.
It is one of the originals, isn't it?
It is, and so traditional that people underrate what they are. And if you see an exceptional quality one of these, and there was one over in Holland's koi show, when they get size and you get that benny, the benny that sits under the lateral line, it pops and it looks absolutely fabulous. It changes the fish completely. But looks like Nigel's out on his own. Then I'm not going to flog a dead horse.
Out there on his own, mate, for a 52 quid steal.
Oh, that is a steal as well. So
I reckon,
going once, going twice.
Oh, Sam Hinchcliffe at 60 quid.
Okay, I'll leave. I'll let Nigel come back if he wants it. Increments of £2.
Nigel says I've got 8 of them.
There you go. You can make it nine, Nigel.
Make it 9, Nigel, for an extra £2. Yeah.
Sam, don't let
him
take
there you go.
£2, mate. It's worth a lot more than that. You know it.
A lot more than that.
Yeah, that's extremely cheap in comparison to the ones that I sell in the shop. And I'm going to say that. I'm not trying
Sam
to sell
for
it.
70.
Well done, Sam. Nice jet, by the way. Do you fly them? That's what I want to know. Because that's the best chat-up lining in the world, isn't it? You know, what do you do? I'm a fighter pilot.
72 from Nigel.
What do you do for a living, Tone? I sell koi. I'm a fighter pilot. I know what I prefer.
Might as well that appealing either, mate. I fix it. Oops.
No, it's all right, mate. We're good on this channel. 72 quid then. Do I see 75? Come on. Let's get this up, Sam. 75 quid, mate. You know it's a bargain even at that price. That's a fair
That's
point.
That's a true statement, though.
Again, you
could
have
Nigel Shaw's.
One thing. So Sam's out then. So Nigel, we're calling that 3 times, mate. If Sam's out, it's going this side though. Don't forget, Si. Nigel, we speak enough, mate. So you know where to find me, mate.
Nigel, I would look forward to seeing that progress, mate.
72 quid. Lovely. So, well done, mate. You've got a good fish there. One of the first fish that I learned with Alan, actually. By the way, that's a nice.
I've got to admit, the Asagi is something initially, as the shusui, I weren't a big fan of.
Yeah.
But Daz has been doing a fair bit of them, and he's been spawning, done a few spawns with them. And between me and Jeff, we picked one apiece, and we've been having a little competition to grow them on all this year. So far, I'm pipping him by 2 cm. But since then, since seeing it and looking at it, appreciating it, and having a look at it, giving it a quick measure up, and having a quick look round fish, and thinking, well, these are a nice fish. They are. When you get a good one, they're good.
Yeah, well, you know something, the Asagi, it's a very good learning fish.
Yeah.
You know, so even if you come across one, you know, and for the price that's just gone for, when you put it in your pond and you see it develop year on year, you will start to really understand progression of koi. And you will also understand what is meant by trust the process. You know, because a lot of people want finish too quick. One thing you're not going to get is a finished article that looks great in 5 years' time if you buy a small toes eye like that that's finished. Because
I reckon that with Nigel, I reckon that'll be double that size this time next year.
Yeah, so do I, mate. He often shares what he's up to when we chat. But moving on then. So Ginin Kohaku, picked out by one distance here at the shop. It is nice. From Hiroi.
It's different, isn't it?
It's
a lot of sumi on its head, but like you said, with that
Benny.
window around the eye kind of thing, it does make it look that little bit different, doesn't it?
Yeah,
nice
again,
in through it.
A lot of people. So, if you're looking for a show quality fish, you're not looking for a full head pattern. Now, one thing that I will say is that, like top down, it looks like that it has got a full header pattern. It hasn't. If you look onto where the gill plate is, the pattern does break. Okay, but again, on this, One thing that we've got to point out is that we're looking for gin quality. This fish has got the gin quality as it goes through the shiroji and the beni plate. Okay, so that shows to me that it's going to stay as the fish gets bigger. When we're looking through the frame of this fish, Hiroi, they've got an extra good body for these fish. 27 centimeter tozai. You will see on the body itself when it comes in from the side angle that as it starts to move through now, you'll see that this fish for a tozai has got a lot of volume for 27 centimeters.
Yeah.
So as that fish starts to get longer and that body starts to come, this fish is gonna have a presence in a pond. The plate
shaped fins and pecks and all on it.
Yeah,
Perfect,
yeah.
man.
It's lovely, mate. It's a real good quality fish. But when you see the fish from more of the side angle, you'll see the beni plate. When I say beni plate, it's the colour of the red as it goes through the whole of the fish. It's not washed out anywhere.
Does it?
It's darker on the head than it is the body, and that's natural. That's what you should be seeing. But the rest of the fish, it follows the same palette all the way through. The shiroji is of an excellent quality. It's very, very white. It looks absolute. And if you look on the peduncle, which for those people that don't know is right down the base of the tail, where it meets the fin, on the peduncle, you can see how white it is there and how white it is down the flank.
Even with the Ginin following through right down to the tip of the tail too.
You know, when that's right as well, guys. But when you consider this is only tozai, the skin is still not at its best. It's still got a lot of thickening to do, right? You're only going to get better quality colour with this as this fish gets older.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's a steal at 75 quid for
100%.
20. But Dave obviously knows what he's looking at here. He can see where this fish is going to go. It's a two-step. It's got almost a three-step. As this fish develops, it will split down the left-hand side in the middle of the dorsal fin on just the left side, but on the right-hand side, where underneath my tile now, we'll see that it's all the way down. Nothing's going to change there, but that piece that you can see that's an inverted V that's pointing down at the actual dorsal now, that will get wider. Okay, so that fish itself, it's quite a decent sort of half Inazuma pattern and a one step off the front. Window fish, definitely. Top down fish, definitely. You know, it's got its all. The reason why a lot of people overlook or would overlook this fish is the small bit of beni in its right pec fin. Okay. Again, people will get rid of that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from the quality of this fish.
It's not a showfish.
No.
Is it? It's not a showfish, but it's a beautiful pond fish.
But let's face it, Gaz, like I said earlier, 99% of people don't show
exactly.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Nigel, you are not seeing underlying sumi, my friend. No, it's the shadow from the light, my friend. So again, look at the Kiwa off the front down. You'll see the Marizumi effect as it comes round. The sashi as well off the where it starts on the second dan. It's of a decent thickness. It's not messy. It's consistent all the way down through the pattern. You know, that is what you're looking for.
I personally think, I mean, if that fish had have had a little bit more of a horseshoe on the nose, it'd have sold long ago. And that's probably, it's the fuller header pattern that's probably putting most.
If it had pinched in round the nostrils or finished round the nostrils, again, that would have gone
nice
early
big,
on.
big, you know, big white mouth on it, leading from.
Yeah, you know, there's nothing wrong with this fish, man. It's
no.
The problem
body on
we
it.
have with kohaku is that too many people look for all of the perfects. Yeah. And a lot of the perfects actually don't exist. It's all niff naff and trivia, believe it or not. So little things like the beni, like not stopping on the peduncle, it's not a requirement. You know, as long as it actually, as that fish gets bigger and it starts to grow out, and the same around the tail, if it looks like it should be there and adds something to the fish, it actually improves and enhances what the fish looks like. Again, we are buying young fish at Tozai, so you've not got an adult version of the fish. The fish is going to get longer. It's going to start widening out, and it's going to get a mass. And actually, when you frame what's going on as the top of that fish opens out, it's going to look even better as the top starts to flatten. And that's the best way I can put it, because you're going to see more white from the top as you're looking down. The Shiroji is going to stand out. But it looks like it's sort of treading water at 75 quid there, so I'm going to call it going once.
Going once then. 75 for David.
Nice of you to join us, Orchard Koi. Thank you very much. Also, quite pleased with the turnout, guys, while we're just waiting for this to finish off. Increments of £2. It's with David at 75. I want to say thank you to everyone that's joined so far.
Yeah, massive thank you, guys, for the
around
support.
90 to 100 people as an average most of the night. I have only got 9 likes though, so I'd appreciate a few more if you'd like.
You're 44 from you're 44 thumbs up on.
Oh, okay, that's excellent, guys. Thank you. That's almost 50%. I appreciate that. That's
45 and climbing. Come on, guys. Oh, Jack Charles in 80.
Excellent.
You, Dave. Are you going for 2s on this?
Jack has bought a couple of these Hiroi from me this year, so it'd be quite interesting to see if he wins this. £2. All I'm looking for, an extra £2. This fish commands more than 80 quid at 27. It's a big Tozai, guys. It's a lot of fish for 80 quid. Again, that picture there for me shows how much volume this fish is going to come. It's going to come with this fish.
$85 from Tokyo.
Twice. Tokyo won. I tell you, leaving it a bit late, guys. You really should be bidding on this if you want it. People will only go so far. If you look as this fish turns now, there is where I can see down the midriff the profile of that fish for a young Tozai is the reason why it's in here, to be honest. It is going to be a good volume fish. Is it going to get to a metre? Nah. Is it going to get to 90? Nah. 80 cm? There's a chance in the right environment. More
Charles is out,
I would say. Okay, so with Tokyo one then, last call. $30 seconds just to make sure there's no lag. I love it when it gets
85 quid.
Well, I'm not sponsored by these, by the way, guys. I wish I was. And that's sold to Tokyo one then, guys, for £85, which is a real good deal, mate. Well done. So we're actually ending the auction on 3 kohaku, this being the first of 3. I believe I've got a couple of little bangers here. From a breeder that people probably don't know a great deal about, and not what we would call a name that tends to do a lot of bouncing. However, sourced by Rick, Sakazumi. This is a beautiful little Tozai. Again, Benny on this is quite well. This fish it's got quite a big kohaku pattern. The fact that you've got a couple of little breaks up it is like where the Shiroji comes at the right hand flank is for me what makes this fish, and where the pattern comes across the face. Right, a Sakazumi kohaku 28 cm Tozai starting bid of £50. Now,
starting bid at 50. This should be leaping through for bids.
Yeah, the Shiroji on this is excellent. Just bear with me. Okay, Koi wholesaler still selling fish. The Shiroji on this fish is excellent. you'll see across its face and in the tail how finished that white is. It's snow white. You can see around the gill plate and under the lateral line there as it's just balancing itself out, showing off in the water, that the shiroji quality again is extremely great as it goes down. The pigment is still yet to give its best in the Benny plate, but my God, what a real good Benny plate that is. It is even all the way through that fish, with the exception of where the sashi is. The kiwa has still got a little bit to do. It doesn't mean to say that it's bad. It's still not right on where you would see exceptional quality of the Marizoma kiwa as it has scallops on the end, but it's still going to come. The sashi itself is sitting in the right places, and as this fish starts to develop in the Benny plate, that Benny will come and it will start to tighten up and start to retract back, and that is when you're going to see the fish at its full glory. The fins itself are extremely clean. It's the pattern again. If this fish was to continue the Benny plate all the way through the peduncle, it changes this fish 100%. If it had a solid red head, it would change the actual dynamic of this fish totally. The fact that you've got that nice white tip at both ends with a couple of little breaks just into the tail tube there really, really makes this fish slightly different to the others, which is what you should be looking for. But it don't look like we've got much interest.
We haven't even got a starting bid. There's nobody sure. Somebody should be interested in a 50 quid bid for this.
Look how clean that shiroji is and how clean those fins are.
You tell me of any way you can get a 28 cm toe sight at 50 quid.
Japanese as well.
Come on, well, there we go. Nigel, thank you very much, sir.
Nigel, thank you, mate. That's a steal. That is a big steal. That'll be the steal of the night if that goes for 50 quid. But what's your take on this, Gus?
It's a nice fish, mate. It's got a good body. I mean, I would like to. It would have been nice if it would have been Brockers to free equal Dan's, wouldn't it? But it's the Ben is deep on it. It's nice, good colour on it. The shiroji is brilliant. Brilliant white again for such a young fish. What
people need to have is the vision where this fish is going to go. Right, this is not the finished article by any stretch.
Not by a long shot.
We are looking at that as that fish starts to develop and that frame starts to grow and that skeleton starts to push out. Right,
you can already see the shoulders coming, can't you?
It's going to break that Benny plate. It's going to break it behind that right hand as you're looking at the fish, like nose to nose. The right hand gill where it splits there. As that fish does that little white patch is going to be bigger, so you're going to see more.
It's going to break. You're going to see more through it. Yeah, not so much as a break, but it's going to become more of a. It's
going to come into the picture, you know. So it's not as you're seeing that fish now. There's a lot of Benny over the top, but as that fish grows and that happens, that shiroji and that Benny plate will start to open a bit. That shiroji creeps in. It gets stronger. It changes what that pattern looks like. Again. Body structure of the fish is on point. It's got a good size head. It has got a good size head,
and it has got a nice shape to front head as well.
Yeah, it's got a nice shape. Full stop. The peduncle is really thick set. It's not thick set to the point where this is going to be a stumpy fish either. The profile is in very good. What's the word I'm looking for? Perspective all the way through.
So it's a fish to develop as well.
100%. We'll learn a lot on this. But one thing I will say that the Benny is young. So again, with colour food, and you start to really push that pigment out, you are going to get so much more out of this fish. Rebecca knows a fish.
There she does. Body, luster, pattern.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think this is going far too cheap, and with a bit of time, even if this was put in a show, I think that it'd stand a chance because the quality is there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Terry, mate.
Remember, look at the Benny is rich on that fish for a tosai.
Yeah, it is, and it really is. You know, for a young fish. If I was to put a Dainichi fish in there and show the Benny colours, I think this would really hold its own, mate, in comparison, right? Because again, you're not paying a Dainichi tax. If this was Dainichi tagged, there'll be a lot more interest from a lot more people because of the body. Not going to turn into a Dainichi type fish.
It's definitely the type of kohaku. It's got a big body pattern on it. When this fish gets to 60, 70 cm, then that's going to look like a nice patterned fish.
Totally is, mate. You know, and the one thing that's really good on this fish, more than probably the Benny plate, is how good that shiroji is on the fish. At such a young age, to be as white as it is absolutely phenomenal, mate. You know, you don't see that in young kohaku tozai. You would expect to see that a little bit more developed on the fish as that skin thickens. This fish already shows that. You know, for me, that's what really stands out, especially when that camera gets close. The other thing about the fish is the white tips on the front and on the back. At the moment, again, when that fish opens up, imagine what that will look like with the shiroji poking in from the side just to break up that pattern. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see that good break at base at peduncle as well before tail. It's got good potential, I think. Like a nice fish.
Yeah, well, I'm going to call that and go in once on 60 because we've been going for an hour and a half, hour and a half now. Those people that don't go anywhere because the next fish is a tozai, but it's a little banger. It's a little banger. So going twice.
£60 for William.
And sold to William for £60, mate. Well done. You've got yourself a little cracker there. I think that's a steal of the night so far. William Willis. Good name as well, by the way. I think, anyway. Just again, for those people that have won tonight, don't forget, call through to the shop to make your payments or contact me on one of the social media channels or through our internet site, www.perfectaquatics.com or .co.uk, either or, it'll bring you to the same place. And we will contact you if you leave us your telephone number. Personally, I think that I've left something that is a little banging fish for the last fish of the night. Let's get into it, Aris, and then we'll sweep up afterwards, dude. So that's the one that's what I was thinking, but I weren't going to say it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so
nice
then
4-step.
Here we go. Little 4-step. I've just got people messaging. Just bear with me. 4-step kohaku. With all of the bells and whistles may I had. It's 30 centimetre. Again, from Sakazumi. Quality little tozai.
Farmer Wakoi straight in there with £100 bid.
Superb. Thank you, mate. This fish is, again, just round the top of the head, you will see
Chris
that
Taylor for 110. Sorry, mate.
It's not pink. It is thin skin. That will come as the shiroji and the skin starts to thicken. Shiroji will overtake that. You've got a different colour Benny on this. It's richer, but maritime 4-step. However, it doesn't take away. It doesn't mean that it's any better quality. It's just a different hue of red. As long as the palette remains equal throughout the fish, that is what you're judged on, not how deep the red is, just so people are aware. Again, shiroji is excellent. The fins are uniquely clean on this fish, and the pattern of going across the face is what I think sets this fish off.
This one sparked a bit of interest. David Bramwell up at 150.
Superb, mate. And it's worth a lot more than that. I'm not going to lie. This one has not been on view to the public. It's been kept out the way, ready for the auction. So I'm quite happy how it's developed. Again, I've not been feeding it as to to grow it. I've just been feeding it, and it's been tricking it along at ambient temperatures in an outside pond. You see again, the body line on this fish is excellent. The big thing is how clean these fins are on this fish. If you're looking at it from top down, you'll see that the profile is excellent. It's got a good sized head. The backbone sticks out a mile on this fish when you see it in the flesh itself, and it's got a lot of frame to grow into. It has got a red eye, but don't detract away from it. It matters not, guys.
I'm just going to say it's actually around the eye, isn't it? But we did hear from Alan the other week when he was on the live, as him stating, as long as it's around the eye, not covering the eye and the red going through the eye, it's not something that would mark it down as a demerit.
Yeah. I mean, the fish has got a lot to do. You know, with time, when that belly starts to really push, the thin skin, the skin thickens, the shiroji will deepen, i.e. get whiter. I would love to see this fish with another 30 centimetres added onto it. At 60 cm, I would love to see where this fish is, because I really think that this is going to be a banger. And it is going to command a lot of attention in your pond when it gets the size behind it. You know, I mean, what do you think about this one, Gaz? Have I left the still last?
I think this is a nice fish, mate. And there's one or two comments where you were saying earlier on. I personally think the first from the Maratan through into the behind the head plate, all that will I think from what I've heard and what I've listened to, all that should break to make a nice
100%.
Clean break all the way through. And the one that we've got that's further down the body towards midway on the dorsal. Yeah. That, as the fish gets bigger, it'll open up more, making it look more of a bigger gap to it.
Yeah, mate, it's nothing on this fish. None of it's gonna stay together. It may just touch on behind on the top part of the fish on the third dan. It may just stay attached, but by a very thin margin.
Yeah, it's only going to be just if it does, isn't it? But if it does, then it'll be technically it's a 3 step, but it's a close 4 step.
It's going to be so close that, if I'm honest, I don't think you'll even notice it. You know, I mean, what do you guys think it's going to do? Do you think it's going to break, or do you think it'll stay together? You know?
I think it's a nice fish. It looks male to me. It's a good, long, slender-bodied fish, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
And a 30 cm at toe size, a good size too. Good, strong head. Good. It's nice, clean pecs. Brilliant white.
I don't agree with that, Jack. I think as that fish grows and it starts to open out and it starts to get that way, I think that belly will develop more, but I think it will contract in, which will actually pull them apart.
Yeah, I think if you could have seen that fish at a younger stage, that plate would have almost the first and the second from the Maratan would have already been touching. I reckon that's dropping out. That.
Yeah,
and you can see where it's nice and thick around that first break.
Okay, you see, and this is the talking point on fish. You've got to have
You reckon it'll join? I don't know.
People.
Alan, are you still here?
Yeah, if Alan's there, it'll be interesting to see what Alan says if he's still watching. He might have got bored with my voice like I do. There you go. It'll end up a 2-step. Okay, so you know whoever gets this fish, it's gonna be able to tell us. It's divided.
It'd be nice if Alan was still here, if he could give us his opinion.
It's divided opinion, but I'm going to call it for going once at 200 quid, guys. I think that it had a fast start this one and slowed down.
Alan says 4-step. There you go, ladies and gents.
There you go.
4-step. And do you think that first Maratan spot to the second will join or will separate apart?
Well, the fact that he's saying it's a 4-step says that he's going to separate.
It does, mate. There we go. I shall go with the gentleman that I listen to.
You know, it is the reason why I've said what I've said, because I do a lot of study with that. So I don't always get it right, but I've got
Part. Thank you very much, Aaron. You're a start.
There you go. So Alan
knows.
He's so old, he's forgotten more than we know. And if you go on my Facebook, you'll see that I've got a very good portrait of Alan Tate.
Well, that to be fair, the last time when we was at the Ricky's event at Newark, I sat and listened to Alan and how he explained about things on kohakus and what to look for, and what would break and what would come, what would go, and that's pretty much what along the lines is what you were saying to me there. So I'm going to say there all day long, 4-step marathon, absolutely cock on, and at 200 quid it should be going up now.
Mate, I'm looking for increments of £2 only. This started on 50 quid. So only needs to, you guys dictated the race to foot 200 quid. All I'm looking for is £2 increments. So, I've called it once. We're still going to go 2 and 3 times. For me, I'd like to see this fish with more size in development because I really think that the quality in this young toes eye is there.
David, do us a huge favour if you get this fish, mate. Let us know. Let us see how this fish looks in 12 months' time, because I reckon in 12 months' time, when that's got some size to it, coming Jeff Lee's 205. There we go.
And he's a Liverpool fan. I'll let him off. I don't follow football. I just said it because I know there'll be a lot of people that go, "Oh, it's Liverpool." I don't get it.
I do believe that'll make a nice fish myself.
The 2 increments of £2, guys. If again you was sat on it that long, Dave, don't let it go for the sake of £2, mate. How many kohaku? How's the Momotaro getting on, by the way?
That's why I said that gap there, because I picked one with one that looked to me like it were going to make a break to a 2-step, and already that little bit of Benny that was there has already opened up and started to make more of a gap there. And Mike's was picked on the same sort of principle as mine, so we got 2 very similar, and his has done exactly the same. And that, to be fair, mate, it's a greedy shit. It proper is. When everything else is, when I bang some food on, it comes up, it feeds like hell. I'm hoping come next year now, you get some better food into it. I'm going to get some size on that fish and get some good growth out of it.
Yeah, the Momotaro that I've kept, I've put on, well, I say kept what I was left with after you lot ravished through it. I've kept on 22 degrees and I've been feeding them up, and I tell you, mate, they're getting some size.
They're getting some size on them.
There's probably about 8 fish in there that are exceptional.
David Bramwell at 207, taking it off you, Jeff.
£2, mate, or let's make it 210.
210 from Jeff
going
Lees.
Twice, guys. It's going twice. We're back up tonight
from Jeff
Lees
Lees
as well. Go on, Jeff. Well done, mate. 210. Again, £2 increments, guys.
I get regular updates on this fish if Mr. Lees takes it, that is for sure. I'll tell you how this fish develops.
Yeah. Again, Sakazumi.
Steve Lane, stunning fish, would love it, but already have 6.
Breeder that goes under the spotlight. Sakazumi is a breeder that goes under the spotlight, mate. But I tell you, he does some banging fish, and you're not. If this was a Dainichi fish now with this type pattern, right? You put another 250 quid on it straight away just because it's a 4-step.
Yeah.
It's bonkers, but
you have to go higher than that, David, if you want it, mate. Jeff Lee's already in at 210.
You need never. Let's do 212, mate. Right, yeah, but on the basic, it's not a Dainichi, but what a banging fish! You're going to get the same enjoyment out of it.
Yeah,
it's going to develop. You're going to get a lot of learning out of it.
Again, exactly. You just stole the words right out of my mouth. I'm just going to say it definitely becomes a fish to learn from. You'll be able to see those changes, and you'll see what you think might happen. If it goes the way that you're thinking, then it's exactly what you want.
Let's not make this about football, Harry. Please. I don't do football.
Wife says go for it. 215
£215. So it's going twice now, guys.
So now we're bidding with the wife's purse. Now we can keep going.
If you're out, let me know you're out, guys. I'll let you two fight it out, but bearing in mind, you know,
Dibs it from Daz.
you can't.
So Jeff's already had a dibs on his fish's boat.
What I would like to say, oh, hiya, Marek, mate. Good to see you joined us, dude. I would love 60, working my way to 5-3 at the moment. Oh, he's looking for another 2. That's good. Marek, you need to come down and have a look at the Momotaro we got in, mate. They're doing really well. Marek only lives down the road from us. He's a real nice guy to talk to.
The wife called me away, says Tony from Farmer Wakai. When you jumped straight in from 50 to 100 quid bid, I bet she did.
But the thing is, you know, he's quite right. I mean, look where we're at 250.
There you go. Jeff's out. Take it, David.
Excellent. Okay, well done, Dave. Thank you very much, mate. I sold to David Bramwell for £2,150. I'm only joking, Dave. David Bramwell. Well, it's not the end, guys, because the first fish didn't sell, but I think we was only at about 28 to 30.
Yeah, that first fish is a nice fish. I think you should whip that one back in again.
I think, Harry, if we just whip that first fish back up. Okay, need to change the ticker at the bottom as well, please. Cheers, dude. So Shusui, Ikarashi, it's only a young 20 cm Sozai. Again, you'll see from Rick that he's starting to put these.
There we go, 50 quid from Fenland last.
Well in
for the starting bid.
Well in, Fen. Rick has pushed these fish. It's exactly the same. I had the first pick out of the batch that he got, actually, just so you're aware.
Chris Taylor at 70.
Rick has pushed his fish, and my God, has he got some size on them in a very small time. So these fish come in at the same time the Momotaro fish come in. And Rick has already got some to 35 to 39 cm, I think. Obviously, Rick has put them onto a feeding regime. So the point I'm trying to get across is that these fish get big. You don't often see them. They're very, very hard to get across. And one thing that I like about this fish is that it's got a very good chance of staying blue. The fact that the blue pigment in this fish is so deep would indicate to me as this fish grows, it will keep the blue hue colour. It's not overladen with orange, but the orange that it has got is very well balanced. It's got an exceptionally big head for such a little fish. But
it has got a bit more benny coming up there on the left hand side now. If you look, it's going to get another side, like almost matching patch to the right side of the fish there.
Yeah, I mean,
coming through.
They're hard to come by, Daz, but for a fish measuring 20 centimetres, mate.
To be fair, mate, I'm going to be honest. These aren't my favourite fish.
Nope.
But if I were going to pick one, that's the type of pattern I would be picking. Not too much, and just the right amount. Amount on it.
The thing with these is that I think that for people that don't know, it's a staggy. Okay, they're a little bit of a misunderstood fish, not an underunderstood fish, misunderstood fish. The problem that we have over here is if you get too much benny, because it's a Deutz, that benny quality can drop off when it gets big. And the reason for that is hard water a lot of the time. The skill to these is keeping the fish in good condition, and softer water does them better. However, if you've not got a lot of benny on it, you're not going to have as many problems. So therefore, a little bit of orange down, like on this fish, it's good.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get a fish that grows. And like I was saying on this, the backbone on this fish at 20 cm, you can already see the frame. That frame, because remember, your skeleton grows. It's what actually grows the fish. It's not the fish. The backbone will get thicker set, and it will get longer. So therefore, what we're looking at in a young fish is how well developed that backbone is and how it sticks through the skin. this fish, you can see that white stripe going down the back where the scales start. You can see how thick it is. So as that fish puts another 20 cm on and it hits 40, just imagine how much wider that is and how much more weight it can carry. Therefore, it's going to get big, and it's going to
get a big size.
Yeah, you know, which is another reason why I picked this fish out. The zipper is as full as you're going to get. I think personally, whoever ends up with this fish, they are not going to be disappointed with the size that it gets to and the quality it will keep.
It's clean, mate. It's nice, isn't it? It's a good fish.
It's beautiful.
What we at? 74 at Chris Taylor.
So, just to so you're aware, I shared one of a similar standard when I first joined here, with the same depth of blue on Facebook, and it hit about, I can't remember, I think it was like 40, 50, 60,000 likes across the globe. But I'd sold it and I was holding it, and the amount of people that asked to buy it for about 6 or 7 times that it went for was unreal. You know, I've not shared this on Facebook, but I quite guarantee that if I did, it would fly. It would really fly. You know, and if this one hasn't quite got your taste buds drooling, I've got plenty more shusui. I ordered quite a big stock because of how hard they are to get hold of. So I'm lucky enough that there's a few more real good quality pieces that I can produce. You have to like the fish to bid on it, but there are others. And what I would like is for you guys, if you know, we've had on peak around over 100 people watching. The quality of the fish has been excellent. I would like to know what sort of fish that you guys would like to see in an auction, and I will cater for the masses. I will put fish in if I've got them, but I will only put fish in that I think are worthy of you guys bidding on. You know, I really will. Another £2 is all I'm looking for. I'm going to call it once, guys, because it's had a bit of airtime, and I don't want it to take the limelight. Gaz has already done that. There's been a lot of good comments tonight, guys. I know I haven't been reading them out, but I promise I do appreciate them. I can't bring them all up on screen because we've got a job to do. But one thing's for sure, I think that you'll agree, you know, that the standard of fish have been excellent. You know, and I've not gone too dear. I've let you guys command what money that they should go for. And I do think that some of them have gone a bit too cheap, but good luck to you, those guys that get them.
76 from Fenland Lash is it? There we go.
Okay, so it's going twice now, guys. Going twice. Any more for any more? We've got home. I didn't realise the time, Harry. Sorry, mate.
Good deal at realistic prices there from Skeggy's Koi Pond, and Chris Taylor straight in afterwards with a 78. Cool. Come on, Fenland Lass, make it a clean 80 quid and it's yours.
And it's well worth 80 quid, mate.
Same again next week, 100%.
So, Bex, what I will say is that come and see me in the store, and I'll give you a few tips on these, darling. All right.
80 from Fenland.
Remember, guys, if you are a lucky winning bidder tonight, make sure you give us a call down at the shop to pay for your fish tomorrow. For those people that want to come and collect, they're ready for collection. For those people that I'm shipping out, remember, unlucky Chris, thank you, mate. So this will go to Fenland Lass. There you go, Fen. For those people that do want delivery, we'll take them off food for 3 days before I put them in the bag to ship up. I will need you to confirm you're not heated, though, please, because as it stands, water temperatures are getting a little bit dippy. So you should be at temperature.
Golden Corn's popped in there, crafting. Maybe some bigger fish next week. Good evening and thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I will come back and say the only reason I haven't done the bigger fish, mate, is because I wasn't sure on what the audience was going to be like tonight, and I didn't want to put bigger, more expensive fish on without knowing what sort of support we would get. But you know, overall, I'm listening now, and I will do that. I hope you enjoyed what we've done. What I will say is a massive thank you to everyone, and also Gaz, yes. If you haven't already, for those people, I dare say you probably already know. But if you don't know, Gaz has got his own YouTube channel called Gaz's Koi Pond. Check it out. He's got himself a nice little thing going on. He also goes over to a little koi farm, Gaz's Koi Farm, where his passion is breeding fish. On top of that, Gaz has also done himself proud and got himself a nice little live where he's joined weekly by the likes of Ricky from New Forest Koi, myself, Twisty Koi, Vince Twisty Koi, that is. Ricky Stoddart comes on, Alan Tate makes an appearance now and then. So if you haven't already, hit Gaz up and get him a little bit of support. I do support this channel from Perfect Aquatics, and we often give little gift cards away and little things like that. So let's grow that community, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you tonight for tuning in. I want to thank everyone that has made a bid, and I want to thank everyone that has won as well. The support is absolutely mind-boggling. I really, really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you very much, guys, for everybody that's come along to support us this evening. It's greatly appreciated, guys.
Again, just before I leave, though, please drop us a comment either on Facebook or on this. We'll look through and let me know the sort of fish that you're looking for. And if I've got anything in stock, I'll do my best to put things into auction. You know, together, stronger.
Nice one, bud.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you for having us as well, Crafty. Appreciate it, mate.
You're welcome. Stay online, Gaz, for us.
Will do.